Alright, welcome back everybody. Before we get started, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Apparently 20 subscribers is not a good thing according to YouTube. Anyway, a special hello to somebody who is joining the audience for these couple of Black Dog Institute specific videos. Thomas Farrar, welcome. This one's for you. Started. So, Mr. Farrar, or however you pronounce that last, Farrar, Farrar. Look, I'm just going to call you TomTom. So, TomTom, that paper that you wrote, the 120 odd little, you know what? Actually, where is it? I'll pull it up. What was it? You gave it a nice title, actually. Like, very formal, very proper, you know, like. And the thing is, as well, is it's publicly available on your Google Docs too, which came really in handy when it came to reading it. I mean, transparency and all that, I get it. There it is. It's your honours thesis. Evaluating the effectiveness of gender-sensitive social marketing and programs in improving men's well-being. And yeah, like this thesis is presented as part of the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours at the University of Wollongong by Thomas Farrar, Bachelor of Commerce, D. Scholar, University of Wollongong. Faculty of Business, School of Management, Operations and Marketing, October 2019. Now, that's about as far as any of your, any of your colleagues or anybody at University of Wollongong read, because I actually read all 136 pages of this. And my only two takeaways was, A, you understand your own hypocrisy. You understand what you're doing right now with Black Dog Institute is, even according to your own paper, is just terrible. And secondly, a massive ass typo in section 5.2 that's so goddamn obvious that, yeah, no, nobody at the University of Wollongong actually paid too much attention to your honors thesis here. Like, I'll put it in the description below for anybody that does want to read it. It is well set out, at least as far as, like, except for the typo. Like, once you get past the first part of it, it's just him thanking people in a basic little abstract as to why, and fucking. It really doesn't start until you actually get into, where are we? According to the PDF, page 15, but it's more like page 20 on the actual PDF file. So, like, contents 15, page is about, it's about 5. There's a few pages ahead according to the PDF number. But it really doesn't start until we actually, get down to fucking the method, right? Because everything else is just the structure of the thesis, like introductions and, all around, circle jokes of, who helped who. The method, honestly, I could spend an hour talking about the method, because, I mean, to someone in the university world, it probably seems very, very well put together and very well established. He's making sure that once he gets to his actual, once he gets onto his, results, it's just so much. And you get to that method, just the method part that he uses to actually go through all of this, it's just, someone normal looking at it will go, what planet are you living on? Because it's not based in reality, it's based entirely on paper. The actual method he establishes doesn't, there's nothing that really ties it to the real world. Again, it's another one of those little living in a bubble on paper that never translates to the real world kind of thing. And it's funny because when you do read through a lot of this, thesis, you realize that a lot of this is actually what they ironically try and pushed forward in like a lot of modern social media mental health sort of, you know, programs and whatnot. And why I say ironically is because, you know, they tend to follow the idea that's set out in this, but then they basically take all the weak points, all the actual points that he himself brings up in here that are not good examples of social marketing with mental health, and yeah, they employ that. Like, so basically this whole paper just establishes that TomTom understands the hypocrisy of working for something like Black Dog Institute. Because, I mean, mental health, like the mullets for mental health thing, right? Like, that there is quite specifically aimed at, like, you know what? No, I'm not going to sit here and ramble about masculinities for an hour either. The only way I can keep people's attention for an hour is by talking about dodgy backpackers, you know, stories that involve sex, drugs, rock and roll, and violence. But, you know, TomTom, you know, Mr. Farrar, you're a pussy, so there's not going to be any, you know, I'm not going to find any videos of you randomly beating up on people. You know, I only find, you know, emails of you beating up on me. Sad. Really sad, because to be quite frank, reading something like this gave me a little bit of hope. As much as, again, that the method is not grounded in reality. A lot of this, you know, it did seem to come from some decent moral background, and that's why it saddens me that when I, you know, pull out of that, and, you know, we just go through your Facebook, and it show you, you know, University of Wollongong as, you know, employment, and as your employment and as the place of your study, and as well Wollongong. Not even in any of the bad parts of Wollongong either, like out towards the bloody, like, you know, inland sort of parts. That's not. Oh man, like, you're looking at. I'm sorry, but like, you can afford my rent 4 times over, just for paying your rent. Just where you live, like, where you work, and where you grew up. Like, it's very obvious little insight just there into who you are. Like, you're not a rich kid that comes from $1 million family, but you certainly are middle to upper middle class. I mean, as well, like, your profile picture is you skiing. Now, let's say you didn't leave the country to do this. You went to one of the only places in Australia that, you know, you can actually ski at the right time of year. Let's just say that you already spend more money than a lot of people have to spend on recreational activities. People save up to do that, and you just do it. And let's face it, you probably went to New Zealand, which just adds to it. Like, yeah, it's funny because, like, let's look at your actual mullets update. Yes, yeah, September 27th. Thanks everyone at generous donations. Right. And you said you had your mullet wonderfully recut. You mean you just cut your mullet off? That's what you did, right? Because that's what's here. The mullet's just been cut. You just got a haircut. Where's the mullet? Mullets for mental health. Walking down the street with no mullet. Blatantly, like, this thing is, I'll pull it up. It's frozen on your back walking away, and no mullet. You didn't even get a mullet for the cause, man. Like, you should have just dyed your hair pink like you were suggesting others that didn't have a mullet did. Like, come on. And yeah, anyway, let's go back to the sheer amount of money this guy can throw into his education, because now there are ways. A lot of the actual degrees and stuff aren't listed here, but I will be going into the actual degrees that he has. So, class of 2018 is when he apparently graduated from, according to Facebook, is when he apparently graduated from the University of Wollongong, Australia. Mind you, he did an exchange semester between September 2016 and January 2017 at the University of British Columbia. Sounds very nice, very nice. And then afterwards, almost immediately went to work for the University of Wollongong. Where, I mean, during that time, I think he was there for about 6 years. And during that time, he was, a casual academic tutor, fucking a student transitional buddy, and retention team. So it's like marketing communications casual, marketing communications officer, management cadet, and last but not least, project officer at the University of Wollongong HEPP research team. And then after that, he went on to do things like, the social media coordinator and marketing assistant for Top Blokes Foundation. But he didn't last. It didn't last too long at the Cancer Council, where he's then gone over to the Black Dog Institute. I'm not going to delve into why someone like him wouldn't last too long at the Cancer Council, but I think it's obvious. Whether someone from there would say it or not, or would try and bring him praise, it's kind of obvious why someone like him wouldn't even last. Yeah, he lasted just over 12 months at the Cancer Council. And he didn't even last that at the Top Blokes Foundation. 8 months. This guy's not really wanted by, But anyway, I'm gonna go back to his education, because that's where it really just sort of spells out who this dude is. So the degrees that he walked away from, the bachelors and all that he walked away from with University of Wollongong, is as follows: the Bachelor of Commerce in Honours in Social Marketing, the University of Wollongong, the Bachelor of Commerce, Dean Scholar, Marketing, Studies in Psychology and Economics. His WAM was 83% on that, graduated with distinction. And yeah, the complete, and yeah. Oh yeah, and while he was at the University of British Columbia, during his semester there in Vancouver, the subjects he was studying was integrated marketing, communication, international marketing, cognitive processes, sensory systems, and intermediate macroeconomic analysis 1. So basically, this guy's whole professional portfolio is how to get money from you. How to get you to give who he's working for money. That's literally this guy's background. There's one tiny little mention of the actual mental health aspect when it actually gets to his, university medal and that, when it's actually talking about his, Bachelor of Commerce and Social Marketing, and they go into the whole, his participation in the Nudgeathon 2019, and, I've got his paper here to pull up and show you, but again, it's in the description, read it. It's not for everybody. Honestly, someone like myself does actually have to force themselves to read those things. It's not for the average human being. People like him just took my life away, so this is my life. I don't have one. People like him exist in the world, so I don't have a life. I can't. People like me can't walk out and actually have a good day, because people like him exist to try and get money from people like me, people like you, and they're doing it pretending they're doing it for people like me. Meanwhile, people like me are constantly getting screwed by our psychologists and psychiatrists who want to do nothing but push drugs down our throat. But hey, you'd rather just focus on you don't want to focus on any of that. Even according to your 136-page paper, you don't want to worry about any of that. All you want to worry about is what's the best way to make an advertisement to get us to give you money. This is disturbing, really. It is actually disturbing. But yeah, because even before and during your university time, you weren't spending a lot of that time trying to help people. You were spending that time getting drugged up at raves and, vomiting in elevators with all your, hipster friends that that's how you spend your time. Going through uni, studying how to get people's money from them, and spending money on drugs, alcohol, and raves, and ski trips. That's your contribution. I don't give a fuck what you can bring up. I really don't. Or what anybody else will come and bring up to your defense. Your entire life's work is dedicated to exploiting people. Your entire professional background is dedicated to exploiting people. What the hell? Black Dog Institute, really? If yous are about mental health, yous are about, actually helping people, fire this man. Like, why is someone like this working for you? I don't care what his expertise are. Why is someone that is entirely focused on exploiting people working for you? Why? Because, he clearly didn't last long at any other organisation that would have him, because he's aimed at exploiting people. Regardless of what they'll say about it, it's quite fucking obvious why he's not at these places. His background is literally taking money from you and convincing you that it's, literally the best way is to convince you. It's this whole dude's thing. This whole dude's background is the social engineering of getting money from you. This guy is an Indian scammer with an Aussie accent. This, again, it is the same exact sort of mentality and line of thinking that these scammers will use when they call you up and they're like, "Hello, I am from Optus Fraud Department. You have a sorry, no, Optus don't really do that. You don't really get Optus ones anymore. It's always like, I am from Amazon payment team. We have a refund we need to issue you." Here's the normal, we say hello to him on the side of the street and don't tell him to get fucked version of that telemarketer calling you. He's just not using a telephone and calling you. He's working for a company that can push these things out onto your screen and have you not allowed to complain about it. Your whole life. Your whole adult life. More than that. You're pubescent. The moment you hit puberty, you were like, yep, that's what I want to do with my life. Get money from people. Even your electives at Smith's High School were aimed towards getting into this whole fucking shebang at Wollongong and doing your little semester there at British Columbia. Even your electives during your time, your pubescent time in high school, was aimed at when you grew up and entered the big old world, you were going to study how to exploit people. Bloody hell, mate. I know most of your teachers are proud, but not all of them are. Some of them saw that coming. Some of them had to. Holy shit. I'm just gonna flat out say it. TomTom Farrar. You're an evil human being. I've tried. I tried to reach out to you in a manner that, stated clearly that I was upset, but not in a manner that would state that you couldn't respond and try and address the issues. No. You replied like an automated bot, further having little passive-aggressive jabs at me. And guess what? That person that you were trying to basically, put down and push into a little fucking corner, that person is one of the few people that actually sat down and read 136 pages of your work. So just remember that, mate. The only person who can respect you enough to read your work is someone that has fuck all respect for you at all. That is how much you are actually respected in the modern world. So yeah, all these people can, in your little friend circle, there's two-faced people can pretend all they want. But you and I know. Yes, you and I know. Anyway, like, honestly, I don't really expect to hear from you. I tried to, again, as I said, tried to see if there would be some way that Black Dog Institute might be willing to accept critiques from people, but they don't. In fact, I did that before the RUK video. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't fucking believe it. I thought it would just be some random marketing person. Like just some random person at the office. But no, the email I get, the automated, bot as all hell email telling me to go fuck myself. In that, usual corporate passive-aggressive tone, telling me to go fuck myself. Literally had his name printed on the top. Like, that alone was just... Thomas Farrar, you're a piece of shit. Well, anyway, folks, that's all she wrote. And, tune in for the next one when I figure out what the hell that is.